But it don't matter, no. Oh, let me stop singing. Funny how I have discovered that singing is something I do right before I go live. Why do we think that it is, Melvin? Nothing. Hey, hey. Hello, hello. Hey, y'all. Good afternoon. Welcome, welcome. We're going to be talking about four move abroad mindset shifts today. Ba ba da ba. Yeah. Twin booty is a thing of beauty. All right, there we go. Hey, y'all. Welcome, welcome. Good afternoon. Prefer to say good morning, but it's fine. Hey y'all, how y'all feeling today? Drop a number one in the comments if y'all are new. Welcome, welcome. My name is Bianca. I'm a digital nomad who lives abroad. I go live to share my living abroad journey. I go live to share the story, to answer your questions, to be a resource for you. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the living abroad lifestyle, where we're talking about what it actually means to be a digital nomad, how it is to be living in another country, to be making money from another country, and most importantly, how it's possible for you as well. So my number one goal is always for y'all to take away from anything that I'm sharing that this life is possible for you as well. So let me know if you're new here. Let me see number one in the comments if it's your first time ever seeing me live. Let me see number two if you are back. It's not your first time. You've been here. You just back because you rocks with your girl. Let me see a number three in the comments if you would like to experience living abroad, living outside of the United States in the next 365 days. Please make sure y'all are double tapping the screen, by the way. Please make sure y'all are showing some love for your girl. Please like the live. If you know anybody who would be interested in moving abroad or living abroad, please make sure you share the live with them. You got anybody you trying to convince to move abroad, make sure you share the live with them. Anybody who thinks moving abroad might be a scam, you can share the live with them and show them that, hey, this is a real person who is currently living outside of the United States. And please make sure y'all are tapping the screen. I really appreciate it. Welcome back, Marsha. Welcome, y'all. Let me see number one in the comments if y'all are new here. Did I already pin this? I think I did. Yes, welcome. And also for those of you who are interested in moving abroad, let me know in the comments which countries you are interested in. Let me know if you already have a couple of countries in mind. If there are any countries you are debating, let me know in the comments. TikTok, why y'all being so stingy with the hearts today? That's crazy. Oh, thank you, Angela. I appreciate you. I was about to say, not y'all out here giving IG energy is crazy. Listen, me and that platform had a love-hate relationship for a long time. Now I feel like I'm a TikTok girly for life. Thank y'all for the hearts. I really appreciate it. Albania and Thailand. Okay, so how are you breaking those down and determining like which one is going to be the right one for you? I'm just curious. Thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. What other countries y'all are interested in? Let me know in the comments. Keep dropping a number one if y'all are new here, but your first time joining my live, drop a number one for me in the comments. And yeah, I'll be sharing more about my journey. So for those of you who are new here, if you've never met me before, welcome. My name is Bianca. Last year, my husband and I left the United States to live abroad as digital nomads. And whenever I started posting about moving abroad, people were asking me so many questions. People were constantly asking me to share more about my journey. And like someone was literally like, can you please just keep us updated? So I started talking a little bit more about my journey and sharing more of my journey. And now it's become a whole thing. And now I've shared so much of my living abroad journey and what it's actually like living abroad, behind the scenes and all of that. Oh my God, I'm not used to my phone being this far away. I think Thailand, because if the US dollar tanks, Europe will be expensive. Yeah, that's fair, Angela. What if the choice is based on the possibility of things like war? I don't know what your question is. Oh my God, somebody said in stay in America. I'm going to play with y'all today. Listen, I always tell people living abroad is not for everybody. Okay. I think that's unfortunately social media has gassed a lot of people up into thinking that everybody should just be packing up their life and going to live abroad. That is not the case. Like, don't think that like, oh, well, because I'm just tired of being here. Right. Like, I'm not saying that being tired of being in the US is not a good enough reason, but I'm saying you really need to think about the type of person that you are and like your personality and if living abroad is something that you actually want, or like, would you prefer to go live abroad for like a month? Would you prefer to, like go travel a few places first? Like, understand that you have options. There are a lot of different ways to live abroad. There's not just one way to do it. So many people do not know that whenever it comes to living abroad, a lot of people who feel like it's impossible, a lot of people who feel like, oh my God, how do I make this work? A really big piece of it is like just being flexible. Just honestly, like being open-minded to different ways that you can be outside of the country for an extended period of time. For some of y'all, you might want to start off with slow travel. Like, there's so many different options for living abroad. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Please continue to double tap the screen, y'all. I really appreciate it. It's hard out here for a creator who be out here battling these algorithm streets. I got 3 screens up over here. I got TikTok, I got IG, I got YouTube. Listen, we work it out here. So I really appreciate y'all double tapping. Thank y'all so much. So since last year, my husband and I, thank you, Chris. Since last year, my husband and I have been in 10 different countries. So since we are digital nomads, that means we move around from place to place. We do not just stay we don't just stay in one spot, right? So being a digital nomad literally means you're like working and moving around. So let me know in the comments if you would be interested in being a digital nomad, or if you prefer to like settle in one place. Again, lots of different options for moving abroad. I have met a travel nurse who she accepts a certain number of contracts, and then she literally just takes off and lives in Mexico for the rest of the time. There's been someone on here who told me this with their time. They say that they stack their coins in the US for like 6 months, and then they go and live abroad. I know a woman who spends like 6 months in Oaxaca, Mexico. So again, there are a lot of different ways to live abroad. I don't know if any of you have been following me for a while. You may have heard me talk about trusted house sitters. If you like pets, that's such a cool way to live abroad without even having to pay for your accommodation. So, I mean, there's Worldpackers. There are literally so many ways that you can go and be outside of the US for an extended period of time. Be open-minded, be flexible. Now, if you do want to just pick up your entire life and go completely live somewhere else, cool. That's amazing. I'm not telling you not to do that. I'm just saying, if there's anyone out here who's like, that feels a little bit intimidating, I need more of like a test drive. I need more of like a leap. There is a lot more to that. I wish I liked animals. Yes, if you do not like animals, then house sitting or pet sitting, house sitting is not going to be for you. I've traveled to 13 countries. I was just asking about other people's mindsets. I want a base to hold my stuff. I have hobbies. I am never coming back. Y'all, listen, never say never, okay? Listen, I don't know. You might have never come back. Shit. Hi, Dorita. Welcome back. I may pet a dog occasionally. I wish I could pet a dog every day. That would make my life so happy. So happy. Thank y'all so much for double tapping. So today we're going to be talking about 2 move abroad mindset shifts, because so many people do not even recognize that so much of moving abroad is mental. Like, obviously, you're going to need to look up your visa process. Obviously, you're going to have to book your flight. You're going to have to pack. You're going to have to get on a plane, get into the new country, get immersed in the culture, walk around and try new coffee shops, whatever the hell it is. I understand that a lot of moving abroad is physical, but y'all, I need you to understand a lot of moving abroad is mental as well, because all that physical stuff, y'all, you've already moved before in your life. You have already moved before. Moving is never fun. Moving is always a pain in the ass, but you do it, right? Like if you're moving for a job, if you're moving out of your family's home, if you're moving to a new apartment, a new house, whatever it is, like, you have moved before, okay? So whenever it comes to moving abroad, it's honestly, I'm not saying it's exactly the same. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but I'm telling you, like, moving abroad for me was actually even easier than just moving to like a different place in a new city. Because when you move abroad, you have a brand new mindset. When you move abroad, you recognize you are shedding a certain identity. You are literally leaving a place that you have been calling home for who knows how many years. It's a completely different mindset. And once you have the mindset piece down, once you recognize how important it is to always be gassing yourself up, once you start shifting those limiting beliefs, once you actually start consistently taking action towards your move abroad goal, like, you're going to realize how simple and how like easy it is as far as like the physical stuff, because there are going to be setbacks regardless. Okay. There are going to be setbacks regardless. You will not meet anybody who will be like, I moved abroad and everything went exactly how I thought it was going to. That will never happen. It will never happen. Setbacks are inevitable. So the question is, how resilient are you? The question is, how serious are you? Because if you are someone who's serious about making this happen, then at the end of the day, then you're gonna make it work, because where there's a will, there is a way. I remember what you said once a month. You will want to quit. Oh, entrepreneurship. Yeah. As an entrepreneur, if you don't want to quit at least once a month, you probably ain't really putting in the work. I love traveling and visiting new countries. I can't wait to leave. Period. I cannot move anywhere, and we'll still have setbacks. That's a solid point, Chris. This is why we also talk about choosing your hard. You act like your life is so easy right now. Like, yes, there are easy parts of your life, but also it depends on what you consider to be easy. Okay. There's a guy named Les Brown, or some of you may have heard of him. He's older now, but he used to say, do what is easy and your life will be hard. Do what is hard and your life will be easy. People look at other people who seem to be living their like dream life, or however it is you want to call it. But what you don't realize is all the work they have put up front. Y'all, the first time I ever lived abroad, the first time I ever really slow traveled was in 2019. And then I left last year. Okay. That was 5 years, y'all. 5 years in between. Okay. So it's very easy to look at me and to think like, oh, she's just doing all this stuff and she's special. And when she had this and she had that, like, no, I had the same as you. I started at ground zero. Okay. If you would have told me 10 years ago I was going to live abroad, I probably would have looked at you like you were crazy, to be very honest with you. Like, I was not someone who's always dreamed of living abroad. I'm going to be raw with y'all. This wasn't something that was like, oh my God, this has been my biggest dream. No, I actually kind of fell into this. What happened with me, speaking of mindset. So a little bit about like my living abroad journey. The first time that hold on, I'm thirsty. Thank y'all for double tapping. The first time that I ever lived abroad was in 2019. I learned you must be ready for anything in life. Stuff happens. How you react is key. Angela, that's on period. Y'all, that is the secret to life. The secret to life is not about what happens to you. It is truly about how you respond. And that is one of the most challenging things. Even for me, okay, I'm human too. Even for me, whenever something happens and we don't get our way, the way that we react, that's the piece right there. It's easy to go off. It's easy to get emotional. It's easy to get on this emotional train and let it take you into a spiral, into a dark place, to start thinking about all the reasons why it could go wrong, to start thinking about why it's crazy, to start doubting yourself, start counting all the reasons why you're not qualified to do this, why it's going to be too hard, why it's not affordable. That's easy, y'all. I mean, I'm not even trying to be funny, but can you imagine right now if I were like, tell me all the reasons why you haven't traveled? You would have them excuses ready. You would be ready with the excuses. If I said, tell me about all the things that you think are too expensive in life, you would be ready. You would be ready to go off. Tell me about your last grocery bill. Tell me about how jobs don't pay enough. Tell me about how the president in the US sucks. Tell me, if I were to ask you to tell me these things, you would be TTG, trained to go, ready. What if I said, I want you to tell me why you are more than capable of moving abroad? What if I said, I want you to tell me why this life is possible for you? Some of y'all would stutter. Some of y'all would stutter for a little bit. Some of y'all would be like, oh, tell me all the reasons why moving abroad is possible. Do you see how we are so comfortable whenever it comes to negativity? We're so comfortable whenever it comes to speaking negative to ourselves. We are so comfortable whenever it comes to all of these sexy excuses for why we're not where we want to be in life. But whenever I start asking people to speak life into their dreams, people get uncomfortable. Whenever I start asking people, tell me why you're worthy of this, we get uncomfortable, okay? Whenever I say, tell me why you are going to do what it takes to make this move abroad happen, people get uncomfortable. Now go in somebody's live where they're talking about the last thing the president said. It'll be thousands of people in there, double tapping. Everybody got an opinion, blah, blah, blah. You putting all your energy into shit that you can't change. You putting all your energy into things that I'm sorry, but like all you're doing is complaining about. You're not even doing nothing about it. Like, be so intentional about where you put your energy. Be so intentional about your thoughts. Be so intentional about your beliefs. Be so intentional about the things that you're saying, the things that you're putting out into the world. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, T. Be so intentional. Because y'all, this is your life we are talking about. Y'all, I know y'all have heard people who have, thank you, Angela. I know that y'all have heard people who have talked about how, like as a kid, you start out with such confidence. You go after what you want. You're constantly manifesting what you want. And then you get older. And then we allow the noise. We allow the people. We allow social media. We allow all these different things to tell us, oh, simmer down. Oh, that's too big for you. Well, you can't be rich. That's for those people. Oh, well, those are the kind of people who travel. Those are the people who are really accomplished. You just live like a regular life. No. Hi, Sahana. You just live a regular life. No. This is why you have to be mindful about what you are telling yourself internally whenever it comes to this move abroad. You over here talking about, oh my God, it's going to be so hard. Okay, then it is. You over here talking about, oh my God, it's going to be so expensive. I can't afford it. Okay, well, there you go. You said it. And now you're mad that it happened. You said it and now you're mad that it happened. Make it make sense, okay? 4 years living in Mexico, get out. There is nothing stopping you. All excuses and fear. Exactly. I'm telling y'all, moving abroad is 80% mental. Let me go back to my story. Thank y'all. Welcome y'all who are new. Thank y'all for double tapping. Thank y'all. Welcome y'all. Jesus. Welcome those of you who are just now joining. Thank y'all so much for double tapping the screen. If you're new here, let me see a number 1 in the comments. 5 years in Phuket, period. Oh my God. I can't even believe that February is going to be like 2 years since we left. Like the time is going so quickly. And we've been in and out of the US. So I feel like for like the people who've been like, oh, I left and I've only been to the US like once, like that for me is like, holy moly, donut shop. Welcome, Lachey. Welcome, Drock. Who else is new here? Let me see a number 1 in the comments. Where y'all joining in from? Let me know. Rep your city, rep your state. Let me know what time it is where y'all are. I am currently in Colombia. It is 3:19 p.m. here in Colombia. So right smack dab in the middle of the afternoon, right smack dab around the time that I'm normally like vegging out for the day and wanting to take a nap. I'm so excited. Even obstacles can be adventures. Angela, you picking up what I'm putting down, baby. You picking up what I'm putting down, okay? Even obstacles can be adventures. Y'all, I'm telling you, me and my husband did a live last year after we were abroad for 90 days and we did 90 lessons that we've learned. Y'all, that was after 90 days. Can you imagine? I could do a 24-hour live on all of the obstacles, setbacks, lessons, the things that have just not gone the way that we expected them to. Okay, PA. Vegas, we got East Coast, we got West Coast. Who else is in the house? Let me see in the comments. Rep your city, rep your state, rep your country. Drop a number 1 if it's your first time joining any of my lives. You did not just smoothly throw in a Friday reference. I have a tendency to do that, Marsha. Thank y'all so much for the heart. So for me, I'm in PA too. Okay. From California, but trying to finish college in Savannah. Okay. So from the West Coast to the East Coast. Is Georgia the coast? I guess maybe Savannah. I still call Georgia East Coast. Don't judge me. My geography of South America is actually much better than North America. Fun fact. I'm listening and applying for work from home jobs, and I'll be going over all your information later. Period, Doretha. Yeah, y'all, Doretha already took advantage of the Move Abroad bundle. Like, y'all better tap in while I'm on live, because while I'm on live, you can get it for 25% off, and you can grab my cash flow come up guide completely free. Okay. For anybody who gets my Move Abroad bundle while I'm live, I'm going to send you the cash flow guide as a bonus. The cash flow guide is a 33-page resource. It comes with a video and everything, walking you through how to start making more money. I don't care how much money you currently have. I don't care if you don't have a degree. I don't care if you don't have experience. I don't care if you are an introvert. You see how I'm ready for all excuses? You see how I'm ready for all excuses because I've heard them all. I don't care if your mama don't support you. I don't care if you want to move abroad, but you can't get in this country with this visa. I don't care. Okay. Where there is a will, there is a way. You will make excuses or you will make it happen. And I am here to talk to the people who are making it happen. Okay. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Okay. So 2019, I knew that I wanted to try. Oh, matter of fact, I'm going to take it back a little bit further. Let me take it back to 2018. I'm going to take y'all back today. By the way, 2018 being like 7 years ago is wild work. But anyway, 2018, I'm at a job I hate it, cannot stand it. Like, drop a yes in the comments if y'all have ever been at a job where you just felt so out of place. Like, anybody else, like, drop the word job in the comments if you have ever been at a job and you felt so out of place. You felt like you didn't really belong there. You felt like nobody had your back. You felt like people were always talking about you. Like, it was just one of those jobs where it just seemed like you could not do anything right. Am I the only one? Okay, I see Angela put the word job in the comments. Drop the word job in the comments if you can relate to any of these. Like, I'm telling y'all, this is a job. This was a period of my life when I look back, and I'm not proud because in my head, I'm like, I'm over it. That's in the past. That was so long ago. But y'all, when I think about it, I still cringe. I still feel embarrassed. Like, I still feel uncomfortable when I think about this period of my life. I ended up quitting this job because it was such a toxic culture between the lack of work-life balance. And then I ended up finding out that a bunch of people were like talking about, it was just wild. Anyway, so 2018, I'm at this job and me and a friend of mine were talking about travel. We were talking about traveling domestically, y'all. We were talking about traveling throughout the United States. And so we were like, okay, yeah, if we work remote, we can like travel around, stay in different Airbnbs, blah, blah, blah. I asked my job if I could work from home. They said no. She said no. I mean, and she was like, she didn't put it in these words, but she basically was like, you're not even that good of a performer. Like, you kind of have audacity to be asking me this. Y'all, one thing Bianca is going to have is audacity, okay? The worst they can say is, no, I'm going to ask, okay? I'm going to ask. But anyway, so that was 2018. So I knew at that point, that was when I was kind of getting like the bug of like, I wanted to travel. Keep in mind, y'all, at this point, I'm not even really thinking about international. I don't know if anybody else can relate. I don't know if anybody else can relate to playing too small. Playing too small whenever God is trying to show you bigger. Whenever God is really trying to bring you bigger. Y'all, I'm over here talking about traveling domestically. And then the friend that I was going to travel with, she ended up sending me a link randomly to this company. It was called Remote Year. They actually just shut down last year, but they've been around I think they're around for like 8 to 10 years. She sent me a link for a company called Remote Year. So I go to look into it, and it's basically like, you sign up and you get, they had, at the time, they had 4-month programs and they had 12-month programs. You could either travel for 4 months or 12. So I was looking at the 4-month program and I was like, oh my God, this looks really cool. Let me book a call to learn more. So I booked a call, and when I tell y'all, I was sold. When they told me that all I had to do was show up and that I didn't have to book anything, I was like, done. Okay. It was called Remote Year, but the name don't even matter, y'all, because it's gone now. It is gone now. but I remember, y'all, keep in mind, because I did skip a section. I quit that other job, right? So now I'm at a different job. I'm at Cisco. They fired me. That's another conversation. Anyway, I'm just not really unemployable, to be honest with you. After you work for yourself and you experience this kind of freedom, like, being in a job is just my time freedom. Okay. I need my time freedom. Anyways, y'all, Cisco fired me and I still signed up to do Remote Year. I need y'all to understand the level of faith over fear. I need y'all to understand whenever I say the words, where there is a will, there is a way. Okay. I didn't even have a job. And I signed up for Remote Year. I paid that down payment, not knowing where I was going to get the rest of the money. Fun fact, in case you were wondering where I got the rest of the money, I actually started a new job in my first country. So I signed up for a 4-month program. In 2019, I traveled with them for 4 months. I did Chile, Peru, Colombia, and Mexico. Those were the 4 countries I visited in 4 months. That was the first time I ever experienced slow travel. That was the first time I ever experienced living abroad. Let's have a quick side note about the difference between traveling and living abroad, okay? If you go get on a plane and you travel somewhere, you stay at a hotel for 5 nights, 10 nights, you do your excursions, you go back home, cool, you traveled. Living abroad means not only are you getting on the plane and going somewhere, but you are staying where the locals are. You're not staying with a bunch of other hotel guests, okay? You're like, and we do have a doorman here. Our doorman is Colombian. He speaks Spanish. They don't speak English, okay? Like, living abroad is when you are actually immersed in the culture with the locals. Living abroad means you're doing the same things you would be doing in the US, okay? Living abroad is when you are cooking and getting groceries and doing laundry and getting your hair done and getting your nails done, things that you would do in the US. That is living abroad. What was the link she gave you for remote work? What link, Doretha? What you talking about? Who gave me? Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Please continue to double tap. That was the first time I ever experienced living abroad. And when I told y'all, the culture shock was crazy. The culture shock was crazy. So I was in Chile, in South America, down in South America. And y'all, I was just like, there's a whole big world out here of humans. And you will not experience it if you only stay in the United States. You said remote. Oh no, Doretha, that's the name of the company that I traveled with. They were called Remote Year, but they don't exist anymore. Y'all, I was literally shocked. My eyes were open like they had never been open before. And for the first time ever, I'm in these countries and I'm witnessing these people living a slower paced life. Y'all, I can remember this was the first time that I ever really, other than work stuff, this was the first time where I would go out to dinner. And y'all, we would be at a dinner for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours. And that was normal. It's not like in the US whenever they're rushing you to get out. There's actually a restaurant that we love, a Mexican restaurant in the US back in North Carolina where I'm from. And and the last time I went there, y'all, that shit said 2 hours max. And I was like, they really telling people how long they can sit there. You know why? Because the US priority is profit, okay? Capitalism has its place. We can talk all the shit we want to talk, okay? And I understand, take it from somebody who's been in 24 different countries. I understand the beauty of going to a culture that cares more about people versus profit. But I'm going to tell you right now, the other thing about capitalism in the US, you can pick up your phone tomorrow and start making money. And a lot of people can't do that. You can decide tomorrow to be a business. Oh shit, and I be hitting myself in the eye. You can decide tomorrow to be a business owner, even without an LLC, and you can go do that. Okay. I have a friend in Germany who started a business recently, and she was you actually really get in trouble if you don't have some kind of certification. So I understand capitalism has its place, but y'all, this was the first time that I ever really experienced just being around people who were just so happy to just be talking to other people, who were just sitting around. Everyone wasn't in a hurry. Y'all notice everybody in the US already in a hurry. Drop the word yes in the comments. Even if you're willing to admit that's you, because I know that's me. Tying our value to productivity, always having the checklist, always thinking, okay, I have to do this, I have to do that, blah, 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 whatever it is. Y'all, I'm guilty. I am so guilty. It's one of the main reasons that I left, because after I lived abroad, I told myself I'm going to go back to the US and I'm going to have the same mentality and I'm going to no. I got sucked right back in. I got sucked right back into the matrix. I got sucked in again. Those are just the facts. And even when I go back to the US now, it's the reverse culture shock. I'm always damn, I'm constantly trying to remind myself, Bianca, you're not running out of time. You don't have to be in a hurry. You have time to have a slow morning. It's okay if you want to get outside. You don't have to be tied to a screen. Your life doesn't have to revolve around trying to be successful and always trying to hustle harder. You are allowed to stop and smell the damn roses. I think if I could put it into one sentence, that people ask me about living abroad versus living in the US, outside of the United States, in a lot of countries, I'm not saying all of them, because I know there are some countries that have those workaholic tendencies as well. But y'all, outside of the US, people stop and smell the flowers. Thank you, April. The food here is weird now too. Why doesn't my bread get moldy after a month? Yeah, that's wild. Good old preservatives. Yeah, I mean, the food outside the US is so much better. We actually just had friends who left here, and we were joking about how we all went out and got burgers, and literally an hour later we're just oh, That's like completely gone. Like in the US, if I eat half a burger, I'm like, look, like I just feel so bloated. The food is way better. Where do you suggest moving to? So that's a great question. So what I recommend is, first of all, figuring out, well, whatever list. This is assuming you already have some countries that you're interested in. Look and see what visas they offer to see what you qualify for. And then make your list of wants, needs, and non-negotiables. Okay. What do you want from the place that you're moving to? What kind of weather do you want? Do you want to be in a city? Let me know in the comments. Do you want to be in a city? Do you want to be on a beach? Do you want something where like there's always stuff to do? Do you want to be a little bit more remote, right? Like, are you moving with kids? Are you going to have to consider school? Are you going to be working abroad? Maybe you're going to be teaching English somewhere. There's so many things to take into account. Do you need a lot of space? Or are you like, I just need somewhere to lay my head at night? Okay. I just need a room and a kitchen. Or are you like, nah, I need a 3-4 bedroom. I want to be in a house. Do you want to be up high? Our current apartment is on the 18th floor. Okay. Like you need to get clear on what your needs, wants, and non-negotiables are. And then as you're looking at countries, you want to take a look at like the visa options that are available for you. Like do you qualify for a retirement visa? Do you qualify for a digital nomad visa, for a student visa, right? Like there's all these things to take into consideration. And by the way, y'all, I have information on all of this in my Move Abroad bundle. For those of you who are new here, my bundle is back in my bio. You can get it. You can get it at the link in my bio. While I'm live, you can take off 25% with the promo code 25. And I'm doing a live bonus and sending my cash flow come up guide for anybody who gets it while I'm live. If you're watching this on YouTube, I put the link in the description. If you're on YouTube, can you see the description? Yeah, I'm still trying to listen. I told you I'm new to doing YT on live. I need to start saying YT because TikTok don't like it when I use other social platform names. But can y'all see my description on here? I assume you can. Can I put a comment on here? I'm over here trying to like low key figure out. Oh, I thought you were talking to me. Hold on, y'all. You're not really on hold. I'm just trying something out. Okay. I'm just seeing if I can put it in YouTube. Oh, yeah, let me put it in YouTube. Okay, yeah, YouTube. I just dropped the link in the chat for y'all. You can use that promo code 25 spelled off for 25% off. Beach and suburbs. Wait, both? I mean, yeah. Well, oh, okay. Okay, I kind of see what you mean. Suburb, city, or beach. Okay, well, I mean, listen, you sound like you're very flexible. You sound like you're very flexible, which is great. So yeah, think about all the different factors of like what you want from your actual city that you're going to live in. Do you want to be in a community where people are always outside? Do you want to be in a community where people mind their business? Do you want to be in a community where the neighbors and the locals are super friendly? Is it important for you to be able to walk to the grocery store? Do you want public transportation? There's so many questions to ask yourself. Actually, in the Move Abroad bundle, the Move Abroad bundle comes with 12 videos. Okay. I did a 12-day series on everything you need to move abroad. And I spent 3 whole days talking about how to choose your country. And I went through an entire series of questions to determine the best place for you. Okay. The reason I did this is because y'all have been asking me the same questions for almost 2 years. So in order for you to have everything in one resource, that's why I created the bundle, and you can grab it at the link in my bio. Yes, you can see the description. Okay. Thank you for confirming. Marsha. What questions do y'all have for me about moving abroad? We're about to get into these moving abroad mindset shifts. So before I get there, let me know in the comments, do you guys have any questions specifically about moving abroad or living abroad, what this life looks like? If there's any specific circumstances, some stuff I may or may not be able to answer, but I will always answer what I can. I need my modern conveniences. That's why I like Thailand. I can get stuff delivered, period. Listen, y'all, you got to know what you want. Okay. You got to know. Okay. And I think I'm really glad you said that, because something else to keep in mind, y'all, is that there's a lot of things that we're very spoiled with in the US, and we're kind of like in denial about it. But if you know that you like certain conveniences, think about that. Think about that whenever you move. If there are certain things that you don't want to have to give up, find out if you can have them while you are abroad. And if you can't, don't go to that place if that's a non-negotiable for you. So I'll give you an example. Me and my husband just got into a new apartment. So I'll tell you what it has that we need, what it has that we wanted, what it has that was a non-negotiable. And I'll also tell you some of the things that are lacking that we wish we had. I'm seriously wanting to move to Thailand, but I have no clue where to begin. Begin at the bundle, y'all. Everything you need to get started is at the link in my bio. The Move Abroad bundle is there. There's even like an afterpay option if you need to break up the payments, and you can use that promo code 25 spelled out for 25% off. So in the apartment that we have right now, so hold on, let me start. I'm gonna start with our non-negotiables. Okay, our non-negotiables. We have to have more than one bathroom. Me and my husband learned very quick. And when I say very quick in our living abroad journey, I mean month one, we were like, we cannot share a bathroom. Like we can share a bathroom if we have to temporarily. That's number one. Number two, we can share a bathroom if it is outside of the bedroom, but we need multiple bathrooms. So we knew that for us, minimum, can you refer me to a tax attorney? Send me a DM and I can send you somebody. If you, wait, no, that's not what I was going to say. For us, we were like, we have to have 2 bathrooms. Like that was a non-negotiable for us. Okay. That was one. Number 2, we had to have more than 1 bedroom. Okay. Yes, it is just me and my husband, but we need space. Judge me, okay? We literally just talked about some American conveniences. Y'all, we were in a 3-story townhome in the United States, okay? We had 3 floors of space in the U.S. And granted, do we need that much space? No. But because we're both working from home, you're so welcome. Because we are both working from home, we need space, okay? We can't be on top of each other all day, okay? Like we need to be able to separate. Me and my husband, we love each other, and we love quality time, but we also love our alone time, okay? Thank y'all so much for the hearts. We also love our alone time. Let me know in the comments whatever you think about, whether you're thinking about like a place, hi MJ, whether you're thinking about like a city or an apartment. Let me know in the comments. What's a non-negotiable for you? What is something that you are not willing to give up? I'm going to keep going through the list for ours, but I'm just curious. What is a non-negotiable for you? Tell me in the comments. I'm curious to see if we have any of the same non-negotiables. So that was one. So that was something for us, the bathroom and then multiple bedrooms. Does that bundle include tips on how to get a job to move abroad? Yes, absolutely. I spent 2 whole days talking about different ways to make money, including my favorite remote job resources. All of that is in the bundle, y'all. The bundle is at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YT, the bundle, I actually dropped it in the comments. And you can also see it in the description. So you are so welcome. Adequate space and multiple bedrooms. Okay, see, Doretha, you picking up what I'm putting down. Okay, so like, let me know. Keep letting me know, what are your other non-negotiables for an apartment, a city, a country? Let me know what is non-negotiable for you. So another one for us was the place has to be walkable. Okay, me and Mel are walkers. Okay. We need to be able to walk to restaurants to eat. We need to be able to walk to the gym, and we need to be able to walk to a grocery store. Okay. All within like 10 minutes. Okay. This was another non-negotiable for us. We have stayed in places where you could not walk to get food. And what ends up happening is we end up spending so much more money. Y'all, be out here traveling on a budget. Okay. I'm humble. We are out here traveling on a budget. Okay. In the bundle, I also spent an entire day on how to live abroad and travel on a budget. Even how to budget your flight out of the country. So for us, we don't want to have to take Ubers and taxis everywhere. So we had to be in a place that is flat. And y'all, most places you don't have to worry about it not being flat. But in Medellin, Colombia, yes, baby. Yes, baby, you do, because we are in the mountains. Okay. We are in the mountains. Property protection says air conditioning and indoor plumbing. Oh, girl, we're indoor plumbing. Jesus. Indoor plumbing is a given. Oh my God. Yes. Air conditioning. Boom. I'm glad you brought that up because that's actually a really great point. So here in Medellin, do y'all hear that siren? Here in, hold on. I'm thirsty today. I said I was supposed to get through this entire bottle of water by 2:00. It's 3:41 and this thing is still full. And it's crazy because I really feel like I drink a lot of water. I forgot to put my phone on DMD. It don't matter. Anyway, I'm kind of hot. Are you going to be cold if I turn on a fan? I'll turn it on AC just for like a minute and then I'll turn it back off. Speaking of AC, yeah. So here in Medellin, so many people do not have AC. So Medellin is actually known as the city of eternal spring. So it is very, very common for people to not have AC here. So it basically fluctuates from like 60 degrees to like 80 degrees. Whenever I lived here in 2019, I was here for 5 weeks. I did not have AC. I never had an issue. I had a fan and that was fine. And then you can have like your windows open because it feels really good outside. I never had an issue. When I came back to Colombia with my husband, AC became a non-negotiable because me and my husband both sleep hot. So like right now, you actually just heard me talk about turning on the AC. We rarely ever have the AC on in this apartment. I actually would turn on the fan, but he's on the couch and he be getting cold. So I was like, I'll just turn on the AC for a little bit. But thank you so much for the rose. Whenever we came back here, we recognized AC in the bedroom became a non-negotiable for us. So as long as the apartment, we can deal with AC. We can deal with not having AC in the living room, but we had to have AC in the bedroom. That was an example of another non-negotiable for us. You are so welcome. Somebody said I need to be near activities for kids. Okay, Doretha, exactly. And so this is what I mean whenever I say like, this is why there's not a perfect place for everybody. Me, I don't have kids. So I'm in no way, shape, or form thinking about activities for kids. But fun fact, the apartment that we are at, they have a little like soccer court down there. They have a little mini playground. So I see that and I'm like, okay, cool, right? I don't think much about it. But to somebody else, they might see that and that might be the thing that has them choose that place, right? There's been plenty of times where we've lived really close to parks and, you would see kids playing. Again, for me, I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. But for a parent, that might be your deal breaker. So whenever I say think about your non-negotiables, y'all get bougie if you need to get bougie. Write it out. And this is what I show you how to do in the Move Abroad bundle. Y'all, all the videos in the Move Abroad bundle, it even comes with a workbook for you to follow along for every day. You can print out the workbook or you can do it digitally. You can just open it up in like Microsoft Word. Damn, it got cold quick. All right, I'm not hot anymore. But yeah, when you're thinking about your non-negotiables, like, get clear on them. Now, if it gets to a point where you have non-negotiables that just really don't exist outside of the US, you might then that's where you go with a sacrifice. I was on live earlier and I was telling people, I was like, drop the words yes in the comments if you could deal with only having 5 minutes of hot water whenever you take a shower every day. Drop the words no if you couldn't. Let's talk about some of these like little like inconveniences that you don't really think about until you get outside of the United States. Okay. Drop the words yes in the comments if you would be willing to deal with power outages happening randomly. This is some of the shit that people don't tell you about when it comes to living abroad. Okay. There's a lot of luxuries we have in the US that you don't even think about. Drop the words yes in the comments if you can live without a dryer. Y'all, the first time I ever didn't have a dryer was in Colombia. And I remember, y'all, when I tell you I had the stank face, I was like, the fuck? I got in an apartment. I saw that little clothesline. And guess what? It was fine. Now me and my husband are so used to, we actually do have a dryer here, but we are so used. Oh, you grew up without a dryer. Wow. Oh yeah. So you're like, whatever. We are so used to hanging up clothes now. It's just not even that big of a deal. Drop the word yes in the comments if you would live somewhere where you cannot flush the toilet paper. Y'all, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of these things that around moving abroad that everybody is not telling you. Thank y'all for the hearts. Please continue to double tap. I appreciate y'all. I see Sin said yes. How many of y'all are willing to live somewhere where you can't flush the toilet paper? Because y'all, these are real life scenarios, okay? These are real life scenarios whenever it comes to living abroad. Bathroom fans? Okay. You know how you like a little noise and a little ventilation in the bathroom? Okay. You know how many places I've been to outside of the US where I have actually had a bathroom fan? Y'all, I've been in 10 different countries outside of the US since last year. 1. And that was in Panama. I miss a bathroom fan. Y'all, I've seen bathroom fans on Amazon and I've actually even tried to I've actually considered, I mean, here I don't even care that much because we actually have windows in our bathroom here. So we have the window open, but I'm telling you, y'all, there are just these things. They seem like they're very small because you just get used to them. And then you go to move abroad and things are very different. So I'm trying to think anything else for our apartment as far as like a non-negotiable for us. Like I said, the main thing for us was like walkable, multiple bathrooms, AC. We also wanted a nice size kitchen because we like to cook. So drop the word cook in the comments if you like to cook. Drop the words eat out if you prefer to eat out. And I ain't judging you, okay? In Asia, we ate out every day. In Asia, it was cheaper to eat out than it was for us to cook in the places that we were. Oh yeah, high-speed internet, 100%. Yes. No, I've never lived in Paraguay. I'm sorry. I saw that comment earlier. I have never lived in Paraguay. I've never even been there. I'm in Colombia right now. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. I appreciate the hearts and the shares, y'all. So us having like a decent sized kitchen, that was a non-negotiable for us because we like to cook. So those are some examples of things that we were not willing to give up. Now let's talk about things that we wanted that we did not get. A king size bed. Yeah, I'm salty. Yes, I am salty. A king size bed. I wanted a king so bad. I did. I wanted a king. But everything else that we got with this apartment was worth it for me to give up the king size bed. Okay. A queen ain't gonna kill us. It's fine. I mean, we had a queen in the US, but we wanted a king. Okay. Like, not how dare you have my name and be where I want to. What is your name, Bianca? Do you want to be in Colombia? How are the expenses? What do you mean? Can you ask me like a more specific question? What do you mean? How are the expenses? I mean, here, like whenever you are renting from somebody, no, I do not know Arpit Bala. Whenever you're renting for somebody, like you typically don't pay for stuff like, you're not having to pay for like your Wi-Fi, your water. Most of the stuff is just going to go into your rent. You can find, you can unfurnished. Like if you're moving and you're willing to furnish, you can find a place out here for like $800-900 a month. If you want it furnished, you can get something really good for anywhere between probably like, I would say like $1,100-1,300. If you want something more modern where we are, you're probably looking at more like $1,600. Nope. I've never been to Malaysia, but I've heard really great things. Rent, utilities, groceries, internet. Yeah. So I just talked about rent. Like I said, utilities, we don't pay for those. That comes in the rent. Groceries. I would say it depends on where you shop. So grocery, sorry, I got distracted. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I'm on multiple platforms. Groceries. It depends on where you shop. So I would say, babe, how would you say our groceries compared to the US here? I would say depending on where you go, I would say probably at least like 25% less. Like we've had some grocery shopping trips where we were like, oh my God, that was so inexpensive. But I've also had trips where I was like, damn, that was kind of expensive. This is what I would say. The more overhead, the more expenses a place has, the more expensive it is. So for example, we live right next to like a fruteria. So like we go there and we get like our produce, right? If you go to like, I'm in Colombia, if you go to like an Éxito and get their produce, it's going to be more expensive, right? If you like, and also that little fruteria over there, they also have like milk. We're really close to like a D1. D1s are really popular here. That's like the really inexpensive store. So it depends on where you shop. I would say on average, we're probably say like what I would pay in, let's say I went in the US and I bought things for, I don't know, $100. I feel like here I would probably end up paying more like 75. Again, depending on where you go. Because like I said, some grocery trips I've been like, damn, but some of them I've been like, oh my God, that was so inexpensive. And then the other one you said was internet. I don't pay for internet ever. Can you show us outside? Yes, I can, but I can only show TikTok outside because I can't pick up my laptop. So I'm just gonna have to. Actually, I might have just turned it around. There's outside right there. There you go. Y'all see, there's my husband on the couch, and then there is outside. Beautiful, beautiful views. Okay, let me put that back. Okay. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Do you speak Spanish? Sí, hablo español. Famous student in Penn State. No, I've never heard of them. I've never been to India. I've never been to India. I have a cousin named Osama. Okay, that was very random. Yes, I do speak Spanish. Have you lived in Thailand? Yes, I was in Thailand for 9 weeks last year. You said you missed it. There it is again. I'm just gonna flip the camera around. There's the outdoors. Let me move that for a little bit. There's the outside. So yeah, it's beautiful. Like that's one of the best things about energy. And mind you, y'all, it's so foggy today. Like it is insanely foggy today. But like the views here are just they are out of this world. How did you like Thailand? Was it cheaper there compared to where you are now? Yes, because Southeast Asia is the least expensive place to live, the least expensive place to live like in the world. So yeah, I mean Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, all those places are going to be extremely inexpensive. We love Thailand. We consider staying there long term, but because we have older parents and we want to be able to return home sooner and more frequently, that's why we decided not to stay in Asia. But we love Thailand. How is the water quality? You can drink the water here. That's actually another thing so going back to what I was saying about like wants, needs, and non-negotiables, like being able to drink the water is not a non-negotiable for me, but it is a want for me because I hate like I actually really care about like sustainability. Like I'm really big on like recycling and like not whatever. I mean, I'm not saying whatever. Point is, I don't want to have to buy bottled water all the time. So it actually is it's a big plus for us anytime that we are somewhere where we can drink the water. Now, let me be very transparent. I do not drink the water. You can drink tap water here. You can also drink tap water in Panama. My husband, he drinks the tap water like everywhere. But no, I get a filter. But like if I go to Mexico, for example, like where you just cannot drink the water, I would not put water into like a filtered pitcher and drink it. But here in Colombia, I do. Let me know if that makes sense about the water. But you can drink the water here. How does American money convert there? It's like $1 to almost 4,000 pesos. It's gone down a little bit. It's been more like 3,800, but it's roughly like $1 to 4,000. That's what it's been for a long time. But like I said, the dollar has gotten a little bit weaker since we've been here. Thank y'all so much for double tapping. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what other questions y'all have about Colombia or just living abroad in general. But yeah, so whenever it comes to like the wants, needs, and non-negotiables, I wanted a king bed, but that was something that we were willing to give up. I didn't want to, y'all, I don't even like brown. Like the color brown, we have a brown couch. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't hate the couch because that's another thing that was this used to be a want, but it became a non-negotiable. I was like, I need me a couch where I can put my feet up. Okay. I need a sectional. I need a pull out. I need something where I can put my foot up. This is very American of me, and I don't give a damn. Okay. I want a couch with space to lay down. That became a non-negotiable for me after being in a bunch of places where we had these like tiny ass couches. Because if you just want to lay down and relax, you don't always want to go to bed. So that's something that became a non-negotiable for us. Now our couch is brown and I hate it. I hate the color brown, but you know what? I like the apartment. So I was willing to give it up. A balcony was also a non-negotiable for us. We were like, we are not going to be in the city of Eternal Spring where it feels this amazing outside and not be outside. Any advice on pivoting from tech to content creation and travel? Where do I start? I would say TY. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. As far as like where do I start? If you want to go from tech to content creation, the first thing you want to do is choose your niche. Like what do you want to create content around? Because you said and travel. So I don't know if you mean just like you want to create content while you travel, but the first thing you're going to want to do is you need to decide like what you're going to talk about. And then once you decide what you're going to talk about, do your research, go look at what other people are talking about. Find you kind of like your own personal content creation role model. Like if you go look up travel, like you might find me, but you're going to find a shit ton of other creators, right? There are people out here who they come across me and they're like, oh, hell no, I don't like her. That's great. That's what I want. You either love me or hate me. That's the kind of content creator you want to be. You don't want to be vanilla. You want to be chocolate or strawberry, okay? Do not be vanilla whenever it comes to your content. Figure out what you want to talk about, do your research, pick your platform, and start posting. That's really what you want to do. And figure out who you want to speak to. And ChatGPT can help you with a lot of that stuff. And if you're interested, y'all, I don't have it in my bio because I don't really advertise it, but I do actually have like an entire course on digital marketing that I sell. It's called Digital Boss Academy. If you're interested, it's $222. If you're interested, you can send me a DM and I can share it with you. Are there a lot of bugs? No more than any other place that I've been. Colombia compared to Panama. Have you been to Panama? Yes, I've been to Panama. I was there last year for 5 weeks. Compared, like, you want me to compare them? I hate comparing countries. I get why people ask me to do it, but I don't like doing it because I feel like every country has something unique to offer. And I just personally don't think there's a such thing as one country being better than the other one. It depends on what you want. But, and also we're talking, I will not compare Panama to Colombia. I will compare Medellin, Colombia to Panama City, Panama. Like, I will compare those two cities because that's where most of my experience is. Medellin is, well, Panama City is flat. Okay. Medellin is in the mountains. So like there's a lot of hills. There are flat areas. We're in a flat area, but like Medellin has a lot of hills. In my opinion, Colombians are a lot more friendly and they're a lot more kind than Panamanians. I'm not saying Panamanians are rude, but to me, the energy there was a lot more cold in Panama City versus here where I am in Medellin. Medellin it's just, like I said, it's a city of eternal spring. The temperature is the same year round. It kind of fluctuates between like 60 and 80 degrees. Panama gets hot as hell. Okay. Panama was very humid. Panama City has the beaches in Panama City are not swimmable, but you do have the water, which means you have very fresh seafood. I had some of the best ceviche of my life in Panama City. The food in Medellin is hit or miss. There is some really, really good food here, but there's also some really, really bland food here. So Panama was more expensive. Panama City is more expensive than Medellin. Panama City, they use the US dollar. So do what you will with that information. Best alternative with healthcare and cost. Cost, definitely Medellin. Healthcare, I don't know. I've never needed to use any. I haven't had to go to any like doctor, dentist, anything like that personally. I know a lot of people here in Medellin who have, and they say it's really inexpensive. And I don't know anybody who in Panama who did, because we didn't really have a big community in Panama. There is a large expat community in Panama, but they're mostly retirees, and I'm 33, so we didn't hang out with them that much. I will say that. Thank y'all for the hearts and the shares. I appreciate y'all. Let me drop the word ready in the comments if y'all are ready to get into these 4 mindset shifts, because since I'm over here realizing I have not even gone through any of these. Y'all can keep asking your questions, so I'm so happy to answer any questions that you have. Let me know if what I said about Panama and Colombia was helpful. Yes, I have been to Costa Rica. I went there for my honeymoon. I haven't lived there, but I was there for my honeymoon. I think my question is, how do I move abroad while working in the U.S.? Are you talking, you say working in the U.S. Do you mean making money from the U.S.? If that's what you mean, then you either get a remote job that you can work from anywhere. Yeah, so you would get a remote job that you can work from anywhere, or you make money for yourself. Those are the 2 ways. So, and y'all remember in the Move Abroad bundle, I spent it's 12 videos. I spent 2 whole days, 2 videos talking about different ways that you can make money online. My favorite remote job resources, as well as options for starting your own business. I do also have a resource in my bio called the Cash Flow Come Up Checklist. It is a 33-page guide. It also comes with a video, and it shows you a bunch of different ways to make money. You can grab the Cash Flow Come Up Checklist if you want. It's $27, but you're actually going to get it for free for anybody who gets my Move Abroad bundle while I am live. So y'all take advantage of the live bonus, because when you get the bundle, you're going to get 12 videos. You're going to get a workbook that comes along with You're going to get a workbook where you can follow along with all of the videos. You're going to get a 23-page resource guide on all things moving abroad. And then you're going to also get the cash flow coming guide. Like, it's a steal. Like, I could double the price and it would still be a steal. So like, take advantage while I'm live. Use that promo code 25 for 25% off. Expat communities in Colombia. I'm a veteran, so they have a big one in Panama. Yeah, there's a lot of expats in Colombia as well, for sure. For sure, a lot of expats here. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. So y'all, let's get into the number one move abroad mindset shift. And like I said, y'all can feel free to keep dropping any questions y'all have. I'm getting all these questions from TikTok. IG and YT are like so quiet. Y'all ain't got no questions. Y'all like, we got it all figured out, Bianca. We just hanging out, Bianca. Thank y'all for double tapping. No, please keep tapping the screen. I appreciate it. I'm annoyed because I keep getting hot and cold. I want that fan. Mel, will you turn on the fan? Okay, so we turn on the fan. You want me to leave on the AC? Okay, you can also move it out some so it like doesn't face the couch. Like if you don't want it to blow on you. Any advice on moving abroad solo at 25? I've never been out of the country. My advice is to travel first before you move abroad. If you've never been out of the country, get your passport yesterday and then take a trip. You can go ahead, like if you can start looking at options for different places that you would want to live abroad, and then like prioritize traveling to those places specifically to see how you like the vibe, to see if it's somewhere that you feel like you can see yourself living. Like I talked a little bit about this earlier, but I am somebody who believes that you should travel first. If you are not somebody who's well traveled, living abroad might be living abroad will be a really, really, really big shock for you. Now, if you just happen to be one of those kinds of people who are very like go with the flow, wherever I land, I'm gonna be good, then okay, sure. But I would say my biggest piece of advice, if you've never been out of the country, is for you to travel first. Think about places you want to go and start visiting them. Like it does not have to be a rush. Or the other option I tell people is try to pick a place. Like especially if like the culture shock is a little bit concerning for you, pick a place that's like kind of similar to the US and maybe start there, or at least it's close, right? Like Canada and Mexico, they're on the same continent, not super far away. And it might be an easier transition for you until you found a place that like you really love. Nightcrawler X says, what places felt more welcoming to you as a black woman compared to living in the US? So in general, y'all, the only place that I have ever experienced like blatant prejudice because I was black is in the United States. I luckily have not had to deal with that. But what I will say is there's definitely a difference in being in a place where there are other black people, right? So being in a place where there are other black people, it means a couple of things. Number one, people aren't that shocked to see you, okay? There were places in Vietnam, there were days in Vietnam, my husband and I were getting really, really annoyed because of how often people were staring at us, okay? It's very easy to tell someone, don't be annoyed if people stare, but honestly, matter of fact, I'm about to eat my own words because people stared at me in Panama. And Panama got hella black people. There are exceptions to every rule, but in general, I will say that if you go somewhere where there are already black people, then you're not necessarily like a shock to most people, if that makes sense. Also, if you go somewhere where there are other black people, whether there are expats, right? Like you're not going to find like you're not going to come across like Afro-Thai people, but there are black people from the US in Thailand. So, but as far as like places that felt welcoming to me as a black woman, every place I've been has felt that way. Americans are welcome here in Ecuador as long as they do their research. Did you experience racism stares in Asian countries? I didn't experience racism stares, but people did stare at me in Vietnam. I don't think anybody stared at us in Japan. Not really. And y'all keep in mind, we're also talking about countries, okay? Things change whenever you're talking about a city, okay? In Vietnam, I was in Hanoi. Hanoi is like the capital city. It's a city in general, so they're used to seeing people a little bit more, but there's definitely some places where they're not as used to seeing you, like, but there were people that asked to like take photos with us and stuff. So if that's going to freak you out, don't go to Asia. I'm mixed and my husband is Blasian. I've seen videos where they tried to touch their hair. Yeah, somebody touched my hair in Vietnam. I was at a restaurant eating terribly. I didn't know how to use chopstick at the time, and it was pretty embarrassing. And she touched my hair. I think 2 people touched my hair whenever I was in Asia. Yeah, like if you're listen, that it's a controversial topic. There are people who are like, y'all, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's not like when you're in the US and people are trying to, you know, it's like a privilege thing. It's like they really think you're celebrities. Like there are people in Asia that have never seen a Black person. Like you could literally tell them you were a celebrity and they will believe you. That's why they want to take photos, because they're not used to seeing you. It's not because they are prejudiced against you. Yeah. So you said like that is uncomfortable. So then I don't recommend going to Asia. Y'all, that's another thing. Like when you learn about these cultures and these things, you get to make these decisions, right? If you feel like I will absolutely not deal with anybody staring at me, I'm not going to deal with anybody touching my hair, cool. Don't go to Asia. Go somewhere else. I thought I was answering another question, but maybe that was it. And welcome y'all who are just now joining. Welcome. Drop a number 1 in the comments if y'all are new here. If you want to move abroad and you already have a country in mind, let me know in the comments. And please don't forget to tap the screen, y'all. I really appreciate y'all. Welcome. Is it now new? I don't know if I said that right. Your experience sounds great. Yeah, I mean, y'all, welcome, Deborah. My experience has had its ups and downs. Like my living abroad journey has not been perfect. Like me and my husband have dealt with a lot of different challenges. There were moments I had to swallow my pride. There were moments I had to realize that I was being a spoiled ass American. And you know what? There were also moments where people tried to scam me because I wasn't American and I had to use my fucking wits. Like these things are all part of living abroad. And this is why I say, if you are somebody who is not well traveled, if you have not traveled to at least, I would say 2. If you have not traveled to at least 2 countries outside of the US where you did not stay on a resort or a cruise, we're not counting resorts and cruises, y'all. I'm not telling you you weren't there in the country, but I'm telling you your experience living abroad is nothing. Okay? Just because you went and stayed at the Riu in Jamaica, oh, I want to live in Jamaica. You don't know a damn thing about how Jamaicans live because they don't live in resorts. Do you live in a resort? Do you live in a hotel? Do you live on a cruise? Do you live in a cruise port? No. So please keep that same mentality whenever you think that you want to go move to Cancun because you went there on a cruise, okay? It is a completely different mindset. And again, this is why I say if you are not well-traveled, please go travel first. Even if you go stay somewhere for 3 months, if you preparing to leave the United States for good, you should be able to figure out how to go stay somewhere for a month, okay? Welcome. Let's talk business. Africa, we're at. Tamiko, welcome. If you were to move for good to one of the countries you've been to, which would it be? Colombia. I'm already here. I am right here. Yeah, Colombia, Mexico. Those would probably be my top. No, you know what? Actually, I'm going to give you my top 5. My top 5. Mexico, Colombia, Thailand, Brazil, Costa Rica. I would live in any of these countries. The reason why Mexico, Costa Rica, and Colombia would be the top 3 is because I speak Spanish. Now, you do not have to be fluent in a language in order for you to move there. But I'm going to be real with y'all. When you speak the language, there's a lot of shit that's a lot easier. You can connect with locals more easily. You know, like you go somewhere and it's nice to be able to know what the hell the sign says. Like I remember whenever we were in Japan, I was like, damn, I don't even know where to eat because all the signs were like in Japanese. Like I didn't even know. And I'm not saying I didn't have a great experience because I did, right? Like you can use Google Translate, you can figure things out, but I love speaking Spanish. So those would be like my top 3, but I loved Brazil. I would live in Brazil. Like I don't want to learn Portuguese, but I would do it. I would. If some crazy opportunity came up today and they were like, Bianca, you and your husband can go live in Brazil, if you know, blah, blah, blah. I'd be like, baby, going. We would go. I'm gonna have to talk him into it. He didn't love Brazil as much as I did. He liked Brazil, but like he didn't fall in love with it like I did. And then Costa Rica, my only thing about Costa Rica is like that was straight up a vacation. So I do also recognize that it's very different living abroad somewhere and being somewhere for vacation. But I did love Costa Rica as well. Did your family like Colombia? Excuse me. Yes, everybody who has been here to visit me has loved it here. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Okay, y'all. So mindset number 1 is setbacks are inevitable. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. I hope we all can be honest with each other. Okay. Drop the words yes in the comments if you have a tendency to self-sabotage. Okay. Drop the words yes in the comments if sometimes you use perfectionism as a form of procrastination. Drop the words yes in the comments if sometimes you overthink your way out of what you really want. I understand. I 100% understand. I have done all of these things. Like, I'm human. I get it. Okay. I get it. Y'all, some of y'all are so afraid to move abroad because you're afraid of the setbacks. Y'all, the setbacks are going to happen. Run to them. Open your arms to the setbacks because they're coming. They are coming. You will never talk to anybody who says, oh yeah, my living abroad journey went exactly how I thought it was going to. Yep. Every single thing that everything I thought was going to happen, that's what happened. There weren't any surprises. It's not going to happen, y'all. Oh, that's somebody's name. It's not going to happen. Okay. You have to accept the fact that there are going to be unexpected things in your journey, but that's okay. Because y'all, what does it matter if this is really what you want? Let me know in the comments on a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are you about moving abroad? How serious are you about making this life happen? Let me know in the comments. Drop a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Drop in the comments and let me know how serious you are about this. Because y'all, if you are serious, then you're going to make it happen regardless. Some people start thinking about moving abroad, and the minute, oh, well, I don't know how that's going to work, they talk themselves out of it. And then another 6 months pass, and then another year pass, another 2 years goes by. And now they're looking up, and now they're looking up, and it's been years. And they've been saying they want to move abroad, and you actually haven't taken any action on it because you keep psyching yourself out. Y'all, setbacks are going to happen, okay? Y'all know how many times, y'all, when I tell you we had planned to go to Africa 3 times since last year, and we still have not made it. We still haven't made it. Last year, we thought we were going to Kenya. Guess what? They were having some civil unrest. So we were like, okay, never mind. Then we thought that we were going to go to South Africa. But then I ended up getting a brand deal in Mexico. So we went there. Y'all, we had a flight booked to Sierra Leone for April of this year. We still got the flight. We need to use the damn credit. We still got the flight. We didn't go because literally when we started looking up hotels, the cost of what it was going to cost us to stay there for a week was more than what we paid to stay here in a month. Okay. There were many times that we thought there were many times things happened in a way that we did not expect. We thought we were going to spend a month in Japan, spent 10 days. We thought we were going to spend a month in Thailand, spent more than 2 months. Thought we were going to stay 2 months in Panama, left after 5 weeks. Okay. Like things happen. Okay, things happen. How to find a remote job to be able to do that. Any platforms? Yeah. So y'all, in my Move Abroad bundle, I give you my favorite my favorite remote job resources. One of my favorite websites is remote.co. I love the interface. It's a very clean looking website, and you can actually sort for jobs that will actually allow you to work from anywhere. And I have more remote job resources in my cash flow come up guide and in my bundle. Remember, y'all, those of you who are new on here, or if those of you who just need a reminder, you can get my Move Abroad bundle while I am live for 25% off. It's at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YT, it's in the description. Use the promo code 25 spelled out and take off 25%. Y'all, take advantage of the bundle. For those of you who say that you are serious, stop making excuses and start taking action. Okay, saying that you don't know where to start is BS. We got to be real with ourselves. Saying I don't know in 2025 is BS. We are in the age of information. Okay, we have the information. It's time for you to take action. And if you want everything in one place so that you don't have to go do all the research yourself, this is literally why I have the bundle. Take advantage of it while I'm still live, y'all. Use that promo code 25 for 25% off. And I am giving away My 33-page guide on how to start making more money. The reason I made, it's called the cash flow come up checklist. Y'all, the reason I made the cash flow come up checklist is because so many people were asking me about side hustles. People were asking me, how do I invest in stocks? Bianca, I want to start a business, but I don't know where to start. Bianca, what are my options if I want to make more money? So I created this resource for people who are literally like, I am serious about learning how to make more money. I just don't know where to start. There's a lot of information out there. How do I know what's best for me? Y'all, in the cash flow come up checklist, I even have a rating scale. For the side hustles that I talk about, I even have a rating scale that says introvert to extrovert. I have a rating scale that literally shows you this is how much time, energy, effort, money that you will need to put in. If you got more time than money, this is something that's good for you. If you have more money than time, this might be better for you. If you want to make money on social media, here are some options. If you want to stay away from social media, here are some options. There is something in the cash flow come up checklist that you can start doing today in the next 24 hours to start making more money if you're willing to take the action. Stop watching all these other people online take action and you sitting back not doing nothing. Why? You get to keep your excuses because nobody is going to take them from you, okay? Nobody is going to take your excuses from you. You get to keep them. But only you can do something different for a different life. Y'all don't even realize how powerful you are. That's what's crazy to me. That is what's crazy to me. Y'all really do not recognize how powerful of a creator you are. Today, you can start taking steps to creating a life that you cannot wake up to in a brand new country, eating delicious foods, learning a new language, feeling safe, feeling secure. You can do all these things that I am doing. I grew up black and broke, not knowing anything about the stuff that you see me doing today. Why do y'all keep psyching yourselves out of it? Why do you keep telling yourselves it's too hard? Why do you keep telling yourself that it's too expensive? Figure it out. You done figured everything out. You have a 100% success rate of figuring everything out in your life until now. Why stop? Why not figure out moving abroad? Why do you keep talking yourself out of it? Those of you who are saying, like, I don't know where to start, you can start with the bundle. You can go to the link in my bio and you can make a one-time investment into a resource that's going to give you everything that you need to know to move abroad from the United States. And you can start taking steps in October 2025, even if it's a small step. Some of y'all get so caught up in trying to do the big stuff. Some of y'all are like, oh, well, I can't go look for a house in Thailand right now. So, okay. So maybe you start packing up your house. Maybe you start cleaning up your house and you start selling some shit. Maybe you go find your birth certificate that you haven't seen in I don't know how long. Maybe you go apply for your passport or you go renew your passport. Maybe you make your move abroad checklist. In the bundle, I give 2 different move abroad checklists. For those of y'all who are a little bit like me, you need to write stuff down. The information is out here, y'all, but you have to be the one to take advantage of it. If you keep doubting yourself, then you're going to continue to hold yourself back. Ooh, that was a word. Who else got questions? Don't get quiet on me now, y'all. Who else got questions about moving abroad, living abroad, etc.? Drop them in the comments, y'all. Number 2, the second mindset shift. There is no perfect country. Some of y'all have been saying, I want to move abroad, but I don't know where to go. And I want to fight y'all. I want to choose violence. You don't know where to go. So you mean to tell me you've been wanting to move abroad for the last 2 years and you haven't gone because you don't know where to go? Go anywhere. Just start somewhere, because your first place does not have to be your forever place. Do you pay taxes in your new country? No, I'm a digital nomad, so I move around from place to place. Y'all, there is no perfect country. I've been to 24 different countries, y'all. Some countries I've visited more than once. I'm telling you, every country has its ups and downs, okay? Since last year, I have been in 10 different countries, and I can tell you something that I loved about each of those places, and I can tell you something that I did not love about each of those places, including including Thailand. Don't let these people on this app gas you up thinking Thailand is the most perfect country in the world. It's hot as shit in Thailand. I'm talking melt your eyebrows off hot in Thailand. Also, the air quality in Bangkok, horrible. Horrible. Okay? You want to talk about how perfect all these countries are? None of these countries are perfect. Y'all, it was so hot in Thailand. When we went to the beach, I felt like I was in a damn bathtub. The ocean, I had never in my life been in water that hot in the ocean. I was like, what? This ain't even refreshing. And this wasn't every beach I went to, but I specifically remember this one in Phuket. I was like, what is going on right now? Every country has its advantages and disadvantages, especially just like depending on what it is that you are looking for. So whenever you're thinking about whenever we're talking about like the mindset shift, like, y'all, I need you to understand no country is perfect. We thought we were going to fall in love with Panama, but we left after 5 weeks. We thought we were going to stay there at least 2 months. We left after 5 weeks. We thought we were going to stay in Thailand. And don't get me wrong, we love Thailand, but we were like, it's just too far. Remember, coming back to what I said before about your wants, your needs, and your non-negotiables. Y'all, I break all of this stuff down in the bundle. Your wants, your needs, and your non-negotiables. You got to figure out what place is going to give you 80% of what you want. Because if it gives you 80%, I promise you got it, baby. Medellin, I love it here. I wish there was a beach, but it is what it is. I don't have a beach right now. I got a pool. I have a pool, but I don't have a beach. And when you don't have a beach, that also means you don't have fresh seafood. And some days that breaks my heart, but that was something that I was willing to give up to be here in Medellin, Colombia. You know, Medellin is not on the list of the top safest country, the top safest cities to live in. I still love it here. Some people prefer to go to like Merida, Mexico, which is like the second safest city in Latin America. I was in Merida, and it was nice. It was nice to be able to just walk around my phone and not worry about nobody, snatching it out of my hand. I'm not gonna lie to you, it was nice. Thank you so much, Miss Lojo. Lojo, I'm sorry. Listen, can y'all tell me you speak in Spanish? I see a J and I pronounce it with an H sound. Y'all, different strokes for different folks. Good afternoon. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Thank y'all for double tapping. What other questions do y'all got for me? Let me know in the comments. Oh, excuse me. I just logged into this room, but did you ever meet up with Expatsy? I partner with them. What do you mean? Did I ever meet up with them? Expatsy is a partner of mine. I've been oh wow, I guess it's been a year now. Damn, no, almost a year. December. Was it December? December is when I found out about them. I don't remember if I actually linked up with them in December or January, but yeah, I spoke at their event in May. I spoke at Move Abroad in Texas. So yeah, I think the last time I was here, you were going to meet in person. Probably, yeah. I met Jen and Brett, the founders of Expatsy. Yeah, I met them in Merida in February. Wow, February feels like a long time ago now. And then I spoke at their conference in May. Yep. Thank y'all for double tapping. I appreciate y'all. Y'all, the third mindset shift. You will never be the same person again after living abroad. This is why I'm constantly encouraging people to travel. This is why I am constantly telling you, y'all got to get out there and see the world. This planet is too big and beautiful for y'all to be staying in one spot. Y'all got to get out there and see the world. I was on their exploratory trip to Portugal. Oh, cool. Are you going to move to Portugal? Did you like it? I've never been, but I've heard really good things. Thank y'all so much for the hearts. Y'all are so quiet on YT. It says it's people in here, but all y'all in here because y'all are so quiet. Thank you, Tracy. Thank you for the roses. Thank you for the hearts. I love that I went and did Caninos de Santiago. Oh, yeah. Oh, you went back. Dope. So are you planning to move there or are you still kind of like deciding? That's so cool. I'm here for it. Number 3 is that you will never be the same person again. And that's going to make some people uncomfortable. Honestly, it's going to even make you a little bit uncomfortable. Because it's like when like once you become woke and you can't be unwoke. That's kind of how it's on the short list. Oh, period. You know how I just lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, you know how like once you become woke, you can't be unwoke. It's very similar with living abroad. Once you have experience living outside of the United States, there are just things you can't unsee, you can't unhear, you can't unlearn. And that makes some people uncomfortable. It's like I said, sometimes even with yourself, it might make you uncomfortable. There are things now that I just don't really care about. That used to be such a big deal for me. I'll give you an example. Back in the day, before I took a trip, I always had to get my hair and my nails done. Y'all, I don't even care anymore. Now, here's the thing about my hair. I will get my hair done because I don't want to have to do my hair while I'm on the trip. But like my nails, like, oh, I got to get it, man. I got to buy new clothes. I don't care. I don't care anymore because when I go to a new country, I'm not there to be an aesthetic. When I go to a new country, I'm there to explore the culture. And like these locals, they don't care. And I'm not telling you like I travel looking like a slum, but I'm just letting y'all know that like I don't have to have a new outfit for everything. Now, y'all, I celebrated my birthday this past weekend. I did not buy any new clothes. I did not. I told my sister, I said, bring me some stuff out of your closet. I wore something out of my sister's closet. I was like, whatever. These are things that seem like they are small, but you're going to be a different person. And y'all, keep in mind, the U.S. is not going anywhere. Okay? The United States is not going anywhere. So if for whatever reason, if you live abroad for a year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, then you decide to come back, cool. But do you have any idea how cool of an experience that is that you went and did that? You will never regret it because you will truly be a different person. Hello, LaShawn. You will truly be a different person. Moving abroad, living abroad is going to change you. Thank you so much for the gift. Thank you for the hearts. It's going to change you. And it's a beautiful thing. I promise you. Like I said, you just can't be unwoke. Okay. You cannot be unwoke. For those of y'all who want to take advantage of the Move Abroad bundle, y'all got a few more minutes before I get off of here. You can grab it in my bio. If you're watching on YT, you can grab it from the description. Don't forget to use that promo code 25. I'll put it in the comments. The promo code is spelled out 25. For those of you who already got the bundle, thank you for your business. I'm going to send you your bonuses as soon as I get off of here. So for anybody who gets it while I'm live, I'm going to email you my cash flow come up guide for free, just for being an action taker, because I love people who walk the walk instead of just talking the talk. Okay. And let me know in the comments if y'all have any questions about the bundle. The bundle is 12 videos on how to move abroad from the United States. Everything from mindset, finding housing, how to choose your country, how to make money, how to get adjusted in a new country. All of this and so much more is in the bundle. You get 13 videos. You get a workbook that comes along so you can follow along with the videos. You get my 23-page resource guide. And you're going to get my cash flow come up checklist for being an action taker. So grab it out of my bio while I'm still live, y'all, because I'm about to get off of here. For those of you who want to take advantage of the live bonus. So the fourth and final mindset shift. Oh, my favorite topic. The fourth and final mindset shift is that, y'all, money is everywhere. We have to stop thinking that money has to come from a job. We have to stop thinking that if we want to make more money, then that means that we just need to get more jobs. Like, people put so much stock into a job, and I get it. Okay. I was raised in a world where if you wanted money, you got a job. And if you wanted more money, you got another job. Like, I get it. But y'all, it's 2025. Do y'all have any idea how many ways there are to be making money outside of a job? I have 10 different streams of income. 10, y'all. I sell digital products. I got books published on Amazon. I do affiliate marketing. I'm on a podcast. I do paid like market research studies. Y'all, I collect money from all over the world from different streams. But I started with one. I started out just like y'all, depending on a job for money. Y'all, these jobs will drop you like a hot tamale. The moment it becomes convenient for them, people out here are so salty. Oh my God, I was at this job for this long. They don't care. Y'all, the moment it becomes more convenient for that job to not have you, you're gone. So you can decide to be salty about it, or you can decide to do something about it. And y'all, it's so empowering making money for yourself. Y'all, I don't care if you start out just making an extra like $100 a month. There is something so beautiful about making money for yourself. Y'all, I cried. I think it was in the 2021 or 2022. I can never remember which year. Y'all, I remember I cried when I made like $40. I made $40 from like an affiliate commission, and I got emotional. I didn't care that it was only $40. You know how happy I was that I put something out there into the world and somebody paid for it? Y'all, people are out here making a killing from these apps that you're just scrolling on all day. Why do you keep only making the rich richer when you can make yourself rich? Whatever rich means for you. That might mean an extra $50,000 a month. That might mean an extra $5,000 a month. That might mean an extra $500 a month. Whatever that means for you. And y'all, the nice thing about making money online, or really making money in general, is that outside of the US, in most places, you don't even need as much as you need in the US. Like, y'all, the opportunities are out there. The fish is talking about spill the tea. I've been spilling the tea. You just got here. I've been on here spilling the tea. Y'all, take advantage of the live bonus. For if y'all get it in the next few minutes, I'll still send you the deal, but I'm about to get off of here. If you go to the link in my bio and you get the Move Abroad bundle, type in the words 25 for 25% off. There's even like a payment plan option up there with Afterpay. I think it's Afterpay. It might be Klarna. I think it's Afterpay. If you need to split the payment, but y'all, if you're serious about moving abroad and you're like, I just need help, I don't know where to start. Bianca, what am I supposed to do? How do I pick my place? How am I supposed to do this with kids? I am a veteran. I need an LGBTQ plus community. I need to know how I'm going to make money. Where do I find a remote job? How much money do I need to save? How am I going to find housing? What do I do with my cell phone? All of this and so much more is in the Move Abroad bundle. Okay. Let me know if y'all have any questions about the bundle. Does anybody have any last questions about moving abroad before I get off of here? Last chance. If y'all got any questions, drop them for me in the comments before I get up off of here. Those of you who already got the bundle, thank you for your business. I'm getting ready to send you your bonuses. Make sure you check your spam folders. Okay. How often do you go live? A few times a week, at least. I just don't have like a specific like day or time that I go live, but I go live pretty regularly. Thank you, Miss Lojo. I appreciate you. I appreciate y'all double tapping. I appreciate the gifts, the hearts, all of it. Thank y'all so much. All right. Well, if y'all don't have any questions, you are so welcome. I'm about to get up off of here. Like I said, y'all got a couple more minutes. If anybody wants to still grab the bundle, I'll send you the live bonus if you get it in the next like 2 to 3 minutes. It's at the link in my bio. If you're watching on YouTube, it's actually in the description. Do not forget to use that promo code 25 spelled off to get the 25% off. The bundle is pre-recorded or both live videos. No, it's all pre-recorded. It's already done. Once you have the bundle, you have access to everything that you need. And by the way, y'all, for anybody who gets any of my resources, anytime I make any updates, you get regular free updates for as long as I keep updating it. And the more I learn, the more you learn. So I always tell people, like, whenever it comes to, and whether it's like my free or my paid stuff, once you get it, you got it. All right, y'all. Any other questions? Thank y'all for the hearts and the shares. I appreciate y'all showing love. All right, y'all. Well, I am about to get up off of here, but thank y'all again for joining. Please make sure y'all hit follow if y'all want more. Check your inbox for the bonuses. Those of you who got the bundle, thank you again for your business. I'm so excited for your move abroad journey. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions about the bundle, but more importantly, let me know where you're going, because that's my favorite part is when people are like, Bianca, I got your bundle and now I'm in Vietnam. Bianca, I got your bundle. I'm moving to DR in 2 months. I got your bundle and now I just found my apartment in Thailand. These are my favorite messages. So for those of you who have the bundle, don't just disappear on me, okay? Come back and let me know where you are going, because my favorite part is being able to celebrate with y'all. It's moving abroad. It's such a dope thing to do. It's a life-changing experience, y'all. I'm telling you, it changes you. It changes the people around you. Y'all, my mom is 73 years old, and she literally came here to Colombia in August of this year. Less than 2 months ago, my 73-year-old mom, who had never been out of the United States, came here. And she actually witnessed what this life is like. Her and my sister came. And then my sister and my friends, they just came here. Like, I'm telling you, it almost makes me emotional to talk about what it means to me that, like, I actually have had people come here who, like, came and, like, witnessed this. Like, you just never know. You lead by example, y'all. Some of y'all, I know you're hesitant, and some of you are like, oh, my family doesn't, support me, or like they don't understand. Y'all, they may never understand, but also they might come visit. They might change their minds. You never know. All right, y'all, I'm getting off of here, but thank y'all again for joining, and I will catch y'all next time.